For the Yankees, Cam Schlittler has been electric. Swing and a miss, blew it right by him, 101.
Four-seam gas, just chewed him up.
Gotcha. His powerful arsenal is built for the big stage, and he has owned every moment. Swing and a miss. The kid comes home and dominates. For the Blue Jays, Trey Savage has dazzled since his return with filthy off-speed stuff and the guts to throw any pitch in any count.
Those numbers just jump off the page.
Both have been battle-tested in October. Both are pitching like the next face of their franchise. But tonight, only one can command the spotlight. It's Game 3 of this 4-game set between the Yankees and Blue Jays, and it all starts next on Prime. Rain has held up the start of this game by over 2 hours, but now the rain is gone, and it is time for baseball. As Prime presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays in Game 3 of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Paul O'Neill and David Cohn, I'm Michael Kay. What a pitching matchup today. This is what you live for if you're a baseball fan. Look at how it matches up. Two of the younger stars in the game. Trey Savage got off to a late start with an injury, but since then he's been pitching great. Cam Schlittler, well, he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball. David, let's start with you, Savage.
Well, your Savage has got excellent stuff, a very unique profile in terms of his release point right over the top and the type of movement he gets up in the zone and also down in the zone. That splitter is devastating. It's a high-low game. And that's pretty much it, a 1-2 punch, but it's devastating.
All right, now you've got to tell me what you're seeing in Cam Schlittler.
Well, Cam Schlittler's kind of the other end of the spectrum. He just goes right after you. We've talked a lot about his three-way fastball, but lately it's been just four-seamers right at you. Sinker, cutter, gas, go sit down.
Look at what your Savage did in Game 2 of the ALDS against the Yankees. He didn't allow a hit, 5 1/3 innings, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts. Cam Schlittler, last 6 starts, there hasn't been a pitcher better than Schlittler in baseball. Now, Schlittler's going to need some runs, and the Yankees have been hitting home runs in the first 2 games of the series. 3 on Monday, 2 yesterday. The big blow that broke the tie, Ben Rice.
Well, Ben Rice has been off to an unbelievable start. He made some adjustments last year. Watch this home run over the weekend. A ball away, off-speed pitch. He stays on it, so you should be able to get him inside. No, up and in at 98, no problem. Ben Rice, 16 home runs, tied with Aaron Judge, having a phenomenal year to this point.
And look at this exclusive company, 16 or more home runs, 650-plus slugging percentage. No Mattingly, no Giambi, no Tino, just Lou Gehrig and Ben Rice have hit that for Yankee first baseman through 49 games all time. Pitching is the heartbeat of the sport. Great pitchers get fans excited, especially young great pitchers. Look at Doc with that hammer right there, and then Mark Bidrich, the bird. Through the years, different styles, different ways to get people out, different deliveries, and we're going to have some of that tonight as well. You can enjoy it. You can enjoy it from the beginning of the sport to today. And tonight it's a beauty. Meredith talks with Aaron Boone about the matchup next.
Welcome back to Yankees baseball on Prime. We are getting you set for Game 3 between the Yankees and the Blue Jays. First pitch coming your way in just a little bit. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovitz coming to you from the Yankees Museum. Yesterday at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Cam Schlittler was sitting at his locker in the clubhouse holding court. He was asked about tonight's pitching matchup between him and Trey Savage. He said, hey, this is something that hopefully happens a lot in the future. He's a good young pitcher, and this one should be a fun one for both sides. Meanwhile, Aaron Boone was asked about the matchup earlier today.
On paper, great. Two guys that really emerged and became stars in their own right at the end of last year and had epic postseason moments. And then obviously with what Cam has done to start the year and Savage too after starting on the IL. So it's 2 great young pitchers and hopefully our guy does a little better.
And it's been so far so good for Cam Schlittler this season. He leads the American League in wins and ERA. Now, he said when you're facing another guy that can put up zeros out there, you're aware who's on the mound, but you don't change the way you prepare or the way you're pitching. You do know your margin for error may be a little bit less, so you need to be dialed in from the jump. But, Michael, I think it's safe to say that Cam Schlittler has been dialed in since he was first called up last season.
Well, thank you, Meredith. There is Cam Schlittler, and he has been dialed in since he came up. He pitched that brilliant game, 8 shutout innings with 12 strikeouts against the Red Sox, and that was a win-or-go-home game. The Yankee season would have been a huge disappointment if they got knocked out in that wild card round, but he delivered the goods. And it's strange, David, he seems to have a poise that belies his 25 years. I know he's 25 years old, but he is essentially a rookie pitcher, and it doesn't seem like anything flusters him.
Well, when you throw 98 miles an hour, yeah, it helps to be confident. I think. I think also, he fills up the strike zone, so there's a confidence there. To Michael's point, it's hard not to be confident when you have that kind of command, and it's so much success with 3 pitches that are all fastball in the fastball genre.
All right, so you're up at the plate against a guy. You know the material that he's bringing. What's your approach against him?
Yeah, I hated to get to 2 strikes with guys I know could strike me out. I mean, some guys you feel like even with 2 strikes, you got a good chance of, hitting the ball hard. Schlittler, I take it back to, Pedro and Coney and Clemens, guys you don't want to get to 2 strikes with because they can blow you away.
Now, you've seen in baseball, teams are calling up younger players quicker, signing younger players to future contracts and throwing them right into the fire. And it seems like it's working out. And then let's look at Savage. Last year, came out of nowhere, and then no hits in the Yankees for 5 1/3 innings in the ALDS. So, David, how does he get it done?
Well, it just feels like these guys are coming up more prepared to pitch because of coaching, technology, the pitch shapes. It's like a video game. You grow up playing video games. These kids are growing up with this technology. It is helping them accelerate their development. And when they do get here, they don't need to learn another pitch. They don't need to learn a changeup grip. They've already had pitch design in the minor leagues, so by the time they get here, they're more refined than ever.
Now, with your Savage, we always hear the words reverse split. Why is he a reverse split guy?
Probably because of that great split finger fastball that allows him to really get out left-handed batters so well. And when you see a right-handed pitcher getting left-handed batters out, you're thinking splitter, something that's kind of a trick pitch that gives lefties trouble, and that's him. High fastballs and low splitters.
Well, this pitching matchup, you almost get the feeling it's worth the 2-hour wait. That's what the rain caused. We are going to have baseball. Schlittler's walking in from the bullpen. When we come back, lineups, first pitch, baseball, Yankees, Blue Jays next. Baseball, and it's happening around the game. Look at these notable major league pitchers, 25 or under. So Cam Schlittler, great start. Trey Savage missed the first month with a shoulder impingement. He's been great since coming back. Chase Burns of the Reds, 6-1, 1.83, has 64 strikeouts. The Yankees saw Jacob Mizorowski. Boy, is he tough. 88 strikeouts, 4-2, 1.89. Of course, there's Paul Skeens, and he seems like he's been around a while. 6-3, 2.62 with 63 strikeouts. That's a pretty good staff right there. If you ran those 5 guys out as your starting staff in the big leagues, you'd be a favorite to win the pennant.
You've got a little bit of everything, but certainly power on the top end. I mean, Mizorowski, the average is over 100 miles an hour. And, of course, we know Paul Skeens, and we're going to get 2 of them tonight. This is a great pitching matchup. We've had to wait for it, but it looks like it's going to be worth the wait.
When you know a guy's throwing 103, I mean, is there any reaction time at all, or you just have to
it's
let it sink in?
Anything.
Right.
You start speeding things up because you think you really got to catch up to it. And believe me, when you talk about a guy who throws 95, 97, okay, but you get to that upper level where you're not accustomed to seeing, things just happen a little quicker, and that's why you see so few really good swings off of guys that throw that hard.
And you know what's strange, Paul, is that when you played, 98 got your attention, but now it seems like everybody throws 98, so it's 100, 102 that gets your attention.
Yeah, and you and Coney were talking about, how they're quick they're getting to the big leagues. I don't think you have to be so crafty when you're throwing 100 miles an hour. I mean, You got so many bullets in that arm for your career. You might as well get up here and use it at the major league level, blowing hitters away.
Now, is Schlittler doing the right thing because he throws a fastball 3 or 4 different ways? Should he be throwing other stuff or just keep doing this until they catch on?
It's old school to me. You keep doing this till they catch on. He does have a curveball for his off speed. He starts with a changeup, or if he has a changeup, he hasn't needed it yet. So on down the road, maybe he will need it. But as of now, I like it. Prove they can hit this, and until they do, we're going to keep going after him.
On facing Trey Yesavitz tonight, this is what Schlittler said. Hopefully we're facing each other for the next X amount of years. That's the situation you want to be in. He's a good young player. I think it'll be a fun matchup for both sides. Who's going to have the most fun? The Yankees or the Blue Jays? Well, Cam Schlittler takes them out first. The Yankees take the field. And he is about to begin his warm-ups, and we'll take a look at the Blue Jays starting lineup that will face him. DH is George Springer, Vlad Guerrero Jr. at first, Dalton Varsho in center field, bats third. Cleaning up, Kazuma Okamoto this month, 16 games, 5 home runs and 12 ribbies. Then you've got Pinago, Clement, Sanchez, Valenzuela, and batting ninth and playing shortstop, Andres Jimenez.
And here he is, the man of the hour, Cam Schlittler. This will be his 11th start on the year. The numbers speak for themselves. Just a lot of good there. And our pitcher scouting report. The musical references going around. See if we can get these, Paulie. DNA. Well, it is in his DNA. You know, this guy just has so much confidence. Michael mentioned it. That's what we're referring to in the blinding lights. That's a 3-headed fastball he throws. You think you see it, and it moves left, or it moves right, or it jumps at you, and it kind of blinds you. And then certainly levitating. The way he levitates that cutter, I think, is really the improvement this year. The improvement on that cutter to stay up with it and make it less slider-like and big and more cutter-like and stay up on those lefties and in on their fists.
Now, will he strike out a lot of guys, or will the defense actually get some balls in play? Here's a Yankee defense. Bellinger, Grisham, and Judge left to right in the outfield. Infield, McMahon had the big home run last night. Volpe's at short, Chisholm at second, Paul Goldschmidt over at first. Austin Wells behind the plate. Ben Rice will DH tonight. And we've told you everything you need to know about Cam Schlittler on the mound.
I'm going right to levitating and Dua Lipa there, Coney. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And I think we had a Kendrick Lamar sighting on
yes, DNA. Blinding lights.
Oh, Weekend. We're not there yet, but it's the Weekend. Nice.
Good job. O'Neill got it.
Wow.
See what a 3-man booth would do for you, Mike?
I'm telling you, Dua Lipa, that's impressive by you. Blue Jays 21-27. The Yankees 30-19. This is their 50th game of the season. Boy, almost a third of the season is gone. Springer is in the box, and he's ready. Schlittler standing on the first base side of the rubber. He's ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. Swing and a miss, we're underway. Start off with a little 98.
Well, it's funny because you're staying away from the fastball first pitch to Springer because he's so good at hitting and second all time and leadoff home runs. But not everybody throws fastballs like Schlittler.
Home plate umpire is Brock Ballou, Brennan Miller at first, Ben May at second, and crew chief John Tumpain is over at third. Now, I watched Schlittler, David, and he's so deliberate and slow as he delivers the ball, and the ball is so fast. I wonder if that plays into his effectiveness, too.
Absolutely. You know, I mentioned that rock and fire part. The rock part, the initiation of his delivery is what you're talking about. The slow, deliberate drop step, the rocking into his delivery, that kind of lulls you to sleep a little bit. So, yes, absolutely. His style plays into everything. The rock and fire, Paulie. Rock and fire. How many times you hear that in Little League? Right?
Yeah. Another thing, height. It helps as a pitcher. You're so accustomed as a hitter picking up, you know, where the release point is on a 6'2" guy. I mean, he's taller than that, so you've got a different release point, high velocity. Just a lot of things to take care of as a hitter.
Still 2-2. Springer in the first 2 games, 3 for 10. Boone got thrown out of yesterday's game. John Snyder just happy he's getting one of his pitchers back in the daily rotation, the 5-man rotation. Ground ball up the middle. Grabbed there by Chisholm. Stumbles, and he can't get off a good throw. Backing up as Wells. Looked like the wet grass got Jazz Chisholm just a bit. Couldn't set.
Yeah, Springer runs pretty well. He's probably got no chance of making an out here. We've seen a lot of balls hit up the middle on Schlittler in his last few starts. Here's another one. Ground ball up the middle. Pretty athletic. He just wanted to show us he could do it.
That'll bring up Vlad Guerrero. Oh and 1.
Got his money's worth there. Swung out of his helmet, lost the grip, everything.
The subtle little nuance from Cam Schlittler's cutter right here. Watch, he thinks he's getting a four-seamer, and he's just off of it. That's what causes that swing. The cutter just broke away just enough right to left. A little subtle nuance.
Let's see if they turn two. There's one, and there's two. Nice dance work around second base by Volpe.
Taylor made on the ground, give him the flip. He let him a little too much, but well done. A little two-step and a flip.
There's Dalton Varsho.
That was more like the Euro step, right?
Yes.
Volpe there, that was a Euro step. You know what we call that back in the day? Walking.
Yeah.
Varsho's had a good series. The first two games, 5 for 9. And a strike. Brock Ballou considered hitter friendly. 31 calls challenged, 18 overturned. Calls fewer low strikes, fewer inside strikes on lefty batters. 5th big league season for Brock.
That's got to report to be hanging out over the plate. He's not going to call an inside pitch on him. I like that.
Sounds like a character from John Sterling's one.
Young and the Restless.
Young and the Restless.
Or Bold and the Beautiful. Brock Ballou.
Brock Ballou. That was Ballou was from the Jungle Book, wasn't he? Wasn't there a character from the Jungle Book called Ballou?
The 2-2. Did he go? Oh, he went. Varsho down on strikes. No runs a hit, and nobody left on base. Blue Jays nothing. Yankees coming to bat. '22-year-old Trey Yesavich taking his warm-ups on the mound here at Yankee Stadium. This is the lineup that he's going to face. Ben Rice tied for third in the majors with his teammate Aaron Judge, 16 home runs, and there's Aaron Judge batting second. Cody Bellinger hits third. He has a 15-game home hitting streak. Then it's Chisholm, Goldschmidt, and Grisham. That's the middle third. Bottom third of the order, McMahon, Volpe, and Wells.
And here he is, young phenom. Trey Yesavich, be his 5th start on the year. He's a little bit injured to start, got a slow start in our pitcher scouting report. Here you go, Paulie. Dream on. He's got a high release deception and a rising fastball. Makes hitters chase ghosts upstairs and started from the bottom. Well, he really had a meteoric rise up through the minor league system and got here in a hurry and cold as ice. That's what he showed last postseason. This guy's got ice water in his veins. He's a good one.
I'm 2 for 3 on this one. The middle one, I'm having a little trouble with, Cody.
Started from the bottom.
Oh, Canadian Drake.
Yes.
Drake.
Right. Yes.
I mean, Dream On, obviously. That's a gimme. Michael, you can even get that. Give me Dream On.
Aerosmith.
All right.
We had to get Kendrick Lamar and Drake in together now, didn't we?
Cold
You don't
as
need
ice,
to
that's
further
an
the
old
feud,
school,
right?
Foreigner, cold as ice, right?
Yes.
Rice fouls it away. So Yesavich making his 5th start of the season. He missed the first month with a right shoulder impingement. His fastball averages 94. He has a great splitter. And he throws from an unusually over-the-top angle. And his arm angle of 64 degrees is the highest for any starting pitcher in the big leagues.
Again, it goes back to the normal release point and where you're picking up the ball. He's way on top, which makes him actually taller on the mound, and it's just an awkward way to pick up the ball.
Center field. Varsho.
Well, what this delivery does too as well is as he throws right over the top, you can see him kind of bow his neck, and that's coming at you, but that also helps him get righting action up in the zone. His metrics under the hood are really top shelf.
Here's Aaron Judge, 1 for 7 in the first 2 games of the series.
We've seen a lot of pitchers, and you've talked about it, with that really closed stance all the way on the first base side of the rubber. Is that something they're teaching, or is it just kind of a coincidence?
Yeah, to me, it's about where you land. You know, we talk about where you start on the rubber. It's really they're connected to how you land and where you land.
Let's check out the defense for the Blue Jays. Varsho is one of the best in the game. He mans center field. Valenzuela throws out about 33% of base stealers, but the Yankees had 5 against him on Monday night.
You mentioned Valenzuela, and you know, when you went through the young pitchers, and how can you not associate that name with Fernando Valenzuela? It was such a cool thing when he stepped onto the mound in LA.
2-2. Bellinger's on deck. Swing and a miss. Judge down on strikes. Now, how's this for ascension in a season? Savage with that over-the-top delivery. He started last season in A-ball, and he ended last season pitching in Game 7 of the World Series.
Started from the bottom. Now the whole gang's here.
In that Game 7, he got 5 outs out of the bullpen. Gave up a home run to Max Muncy, but he did hand the lead to Jeff Hoffman, who gave it up in the ninth.
And you got to credit John Schneider too, to have the confidence going into the playoffs to throw a young kid out there and believe that he could pitch the way he did.
Well, when he dominated the Yankees in Game 2 of the ALDS, he had only 3 big league games under his belt. One and 2 on Bellinger.
It's not so much the triple-digit velocity, which with Trey on the mound. It's more about that life up in the zone. He gets excellent life. The ball just stays up.
Popped it up. Clement will put it away, and Savage retires the Yankees in order. 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the second. 0-0.
Savage.
We've got our prime time drone working. Get some beautiful shots of this great city. Nice crowd here at Yankee Stadium. They stayed through the 2-hour-plus rain delay. Time for inning 2. Okamoto leads off against Cam Schlittler. Checks the swing. Official delay 2 hours and 11 minutes for first pitch. Shallow right field coming on Judge. And he makes the play as Chisholm wisely moves out of the way.
Yeah, if you're Jazz and you're going into right field, you really got your ears on, because if Aaron Judge is coming in hot, you better get out of the way.
Now the 2-hour and 11-minute rain delay. Paul, are you dipping into the coffee? Or?
Yeah, I'm sipping.
Really?
I don't want to go silent on you over here.
And Pinago swings and misses. Pinago playing well as an off-the-radar call-up. He came up in late April when Nathan Lucas strained his hamstring.
Well, one swing last night I was particularly impressed with is he got beat on a good breaking ball in, and he fought through it to line it to right field. Didn't come off the ball, not scared to being jammed, and that's a big thing to be a good hitter. You can't be afraid to be jammed. It happens.
Now, one of the few below great start that we've seen Schlittler have in his big league career was against this Blue Jay team. He was throwing gas, but they just kept fouling pitch after pitch off, and the pitch count was rising, and eventually they would win battles with him. Now, there's a little bit of a different team that did that last year.
Yeah, I remember calling that game with you, Michael, and you're 100% right. I mean, there were 10 pitch at bats, 11 pitch, and it's frustrating for somebody that you used to throwing the ball by people to have balls continually fouled off. You almost find yourself checking the scoreboard. What's my velocity? Why aren't I striking people out?
Deep to left field, going back is Bellinger, and he makes the play. An outstanding play by Bellinger, taking an extra base hit away from Pinago.
Well, you really cannot say enough about Bellinger's defense. He kind of got turned around out here, but makes up a lot of ground and just knows where to lunge to catch that ball. He has made so many good plays defensively in all the positions that he can play, right into the end of the glove.
The best left fielder in Major League Baseball right there.
Yep.
All the way around, offense, defense.
And there's a strike to Clement.
Yeah, this happens so fast, and then you at the end, you're not sure. Your heart starts pounding, and you lunge. All of a sudden, your head's moving a little bit, so the ball's moving. Just a great play. Yeah, right off the bat, you see he kind of turned the wrong way, and then kind of mixed up, but then makes up a lot of ground, and he's so athletic that he kind of knows where his body is. Never really looks out like a hard play, but that was an extremely hard play.
1-2 on Clement. Didn't start yesterday's game. Pinch hit, got a single. He's dealing with strep throat. Chop, shortstop. Nice hop there for Volpe. And a 1-2-3 inning for Cam Schlittler. And part of the 1-2-3, a great play by Bellinger. It was a really special play when the manager moves from his perch on the home plate side and come all the way back to the outfield side of the dugout to high-five you. Every one of his teammates appreciates the enormity of that play. I mean, it just changes the inning.
It really does, and we see him do that on the regular, though, with him. Make those kind of plays, no matter where he's playing.
Jess Chisholm swings and misses. 8 defensive runs saved already this season. That leads Major League left fielders. And he doesn't always play left field. Plays center, plays first, plays right.
I would imagine he's a plus at every position, too.
When you watch him on an everyday basis and you realize he's just flat out a terrific baseball player. Everything you want a baseball player to be. Runs the bases well, recognizes situations, is not slowed down by the same-handed pitcher. He really does a great job. Clay taught him well.
Just feels like he was born to be a Yankee, right? He's destined to be a Yankee. He finally got here. He's going to stay here for a while.
2-2. Ground ball. Nice play there by Guerrero. Flips to Yasevich, and they get Jazz Chisholm.
A lot of people, kind of ignore his defense over there and what he does on the field. I mean, this is a tremendous play. Not only to glove it, but Cody, going over there, this is a hard throw, and he hit him perfectly.
He made that look easy. That was anything but easy.
Remember, he moved to first base from third out of necessity because of the personnel they had on their team, and he's handled first beautifully. Here's Paul Goldschmidt, right-hander against a right-hander. We mentioned earlier the reverse splits. And a strike. Last 15 games for Goldschmidt, 15 for 38, 395 with 4 homers and 9 ribbies. Oh, 2. So righties hit 263 against him, lefties 214, and there go the reverse splits. Guerrero will take it himself. 2-away.
Like I smell the cheeseburger. We used to smell bacon up here.
Yeah.
I'm smelling hamburgers tonight, isn't it? Yeah.
I get a little bit of that, yeah. Might be too late to have one.
I can't figure that out. I was looking at the stands, and the people are still going at it, man. The stands are wide open.
Your timing's all thrown off because you had your big meal thinking it was a 7:05 start.
I hate to tell you, I'm all about schedules. Look at that. We got Fred Flintstone steaks over there ready to go. Yeah, the schedule gets off a little bit.
Yeah.
My wife tells me there's something wrong with you. It gets off a little bit. I get a little flustered.
Yeah, you get hangry. 2-0 on Grisham. He has a 16.1% walk rate, which is the 8th best in the American League, 12th best in baseball. Takes one just off the corner. Probably just skimmed the corner. 2-1. Two and two.
That pitch right there is the reason for the reverse split. It's so effective against lefties. Lefties see fastball and it just disappears.
Popped up on the left side. Pinago, and it drops. Fair ball. Going to second with a double is Grisham. Left fielder coming in. Okamoto going out. Jimenez moving over, and it found the perfect spot to drop.
Yeah, when in doubt, it's always got to be the left fielder's ball. I mean, when you look at this Pinago, he just kind of rounded it up and figured somebody else is going to take it. You got to take charge there. It's just a much easier play for an outfielder coming in.
Now, we've been talking about Grisham hitting in bad luck last 2 days. He's had a couple of soft contact hits, so maybe his luck is starting to turn. Here's McMahon. Big 3-run home run the other way last night as the Blue Jays gave Dylan Cease a 3-0 lead, but with one swing, McMahon tied the game. And that home run broke an 0 for 24 slide for him. 0-2.
Tremendous movement down on that pitch, huh?
Yeah, and you said it, from his arm angle right over the top, and there's the split finger grip. And the arm action, really when you throw a good splitter like that, you're like a used car salesman, right? You're going to sell you a fastball, and you're not getting a fastball when you get the car home.
Pitchers are born liars.
Always trying to trick us.
Yes.
It's always about a game out
It's
there.
all about deception. We lie. We will lie to you.
And that one is tipped into the glove of Valenzuela. And that'll end the inning as the Yankees strand a runner at second. And we're going to go to the third. 0-0 here in the Bronx. Trent Grisham, between innings, walking a bit gingerly. Let's take a look at this double that dropped in. And he has to turn it on when he sees that the ball drops in. The slide. And then he seems like he's in a bit of discomfort. Remember, he was hindered by a hamstring all of last year. And when the inning was over, Aaron Boone ran out without an athletic trainer just to talk to him. But he is remaining in the game. And by the way, that bloop double, the first hit the Yankees have ever gotten against you, Savage. Jesus Sanchez against Cam Schlittler. Looped into center field. It's a base hit. Second hit against Schlittler.
The Blue Jays, when they're successful, they put the ball in play. They don't strike out a lot, and you know they hit it where it's. I mean, this is a jam shot, but again, you know, it's a little looper. It's not a little fly ball. Base hit. Something to be said about that level swing through the strike zone. You know, good things happen.
There's Brandon Valenzuela squaring to bunt. And he bunts it toward third. McMahon will take the play at first. Sacrifice 5-3, moving Sanchez to second.
Early in the game, really, to be moving guys over. Huh?
Almost a playoff game atmosphere, right? Two dominant young starting pitching, playing for one run early.
Well, you want to see it done correctly. There it is. See, you kind of deaden the ball. You don't jab at it. Really good job.
Well, the Blue Jays had 9 hits yesterday, all of them singles, so they don't hit a lot of home runs. They don't slug that much, so they're trying to create runs.
You know, that was really a backwards bunt. I mean, you usually want to bunt it to the, you know, the first baseman who's coming in a little bit late, but it was such a good bunt, there was no play.
Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, the first baseman's got to hold the runner on. The third baseman's got a free run.
Right in on the hands. Swing and a miss. 97 upstairs. Jimenez strikes out. Second strikeout for Schlittler.
No messing around here. You know, man in scoring position. Here, hit my best stuff. Nope.
No 0-2 waste pitch, right? He's going to go right after. I mean, that's a secret to his success. He's got 29 pitches so far and 20 strikes.
Springer had an infield single up the middle to open up the game. Has a runner in scoring position. 0-1.
See Springer looking at the scoreboard. He's trying to figure out what that was, because right at the last minute that little cutter just moved off the barrel, and you know, you almost can't really see it, but you can see the grip right there, and it's a subtle little movement. You can see he's looking what he's underneath it. It's a levitating cutter.
Oh, back of that. Now you got to go in both ways. I mean, a lot of people don't have the, you know, the control to control both of those. You got one going away from him, this one going in, and both at 97, 98, right on the corner.
If you're not paying attention, you miss it, right?
Yeah.
It's so subtle, but it is devastating.
$100 miles an hour upstairs.
Well, folks, if you don't know, Coney went over. He has 3 fastballs. If you watch the last 3 pitches, you saw it. You saw the cutter, then the 2-seamer, and now the 100-mile-an-hour 4-seamer.
Strike 3. 99 miles an hour with movement. A dominating 3rd inning. The WNBA on Prime. Join us as the Golden State Valkyries take on the New York Liberty. Then it's the LA Sparks and the Phoenix Mercury. Don't miss the WNBA on Prime Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Anthony Volpe will lead off against Trey Yesavage, bottom of the 3rd. I like watching Slitler because I could tell how impressed you are.
Yeah, that was just a ridiculous sequence of pitching in that last at-bat. The precision and power. It's a deadly combination. It's so hard to do. I mean, I tried it. I never got to that level of precision on those 3 different types of fastballs. We just saw it in that last at-bat.
Popped up. Guerrero coming down, Valenzuela. Guerrero calls him off, makes the play in foul territory. Now let's take a look at Coney watching that last strikeout.
Don't give me the hands up. I got no chance of hitting it either.
Here's Austin Wells. 3 for his last 33. Now, Meredith, how did the Yankees plan for Yesavage tonight?
Well, Michael, it's a difficult task considering you guys already talked about the fact that he has the highest release point in the league. It's just so unique. It's difficult to prepare for. And speaking to Yankees hitting coach James Rowson, he said you do all the typical things. You watch video, you get in the traject machine. It gives you an idea, but it's certainly not exact. He said there is no substitute against a guy like this than stepping in the batter's box. Early on, you have to get your sight lines established, try to get a feel of that release point and go from there. But most of these guys did face him in the postseason last year. They did not fare particularly well. Now they are getting their second shot. But when a guy has a release point like that and a uniqueness to him like that, it is certainly a difficult task to try to get used to quickly when you step into that box.
Well, so far that seems to be the case. The only hit they have, a little blooper, left field. That left fielder and the third baseman kind of looked at each other and pulled back. The ball dropped. So the count is full on Wells. Last 13 games, Austin's been striking out 41.3% of the time, and that's been an issue, and he has talked about it. He has not talked around it. He has really met the questions head on. He knows he's struggling. He has to be better. And even Boone has said there's more there. He has to be better.
That's usually what happens when you're struggling. The first pitch right down the middle, you take it. I'm like, all right, really? That's one of the few split fingers that he's hung, and that ball was fouled off instead of put in play. Now you give a good pitcher, an opportunity to make his pitch, and you're going to walk back to the dugout.
Strike 3. He walks back to the dugout.
Fastball right there on the outside corner after the split finger. You're kind of indecisive on what are you going to look for from this guy. He does kind of mix it up really well, Coney. There's not like get ahead fastball, go to the split finger like most guys do. He'll throw it at any time.
Ben Rice takes the ball 1-0.
It's not just a swing and miss pitch. He can throw for a strike too. You know, with a great splitter. He's got a slider too. He mixes in for a third pitch, but the splitter and the command is what separates him.
Hit sharply, and on one hop, Clement Fields steadies and gets Rice as the Yankees go down in order. 3 in the books, still 0-0. Major League Baseball partnering with Crisis Text Line to increase mental health awareness. Free, 24/7, confidential support in English and Spanish. Text MLB to 741-741. Guerrero, Varsho, and Okamoto against Cam Schlittler. Blue Jays have 2 hits over 3 innings. The Yankees 1. 0-0. So far, as advertised, a pitcher's duel. So with his 3 scoreless innings, Cam's ERA has gone from 1.35 to 1.29. Fouled away.
Mike, I'm just looking up at the scoreboard. It's not good when you're in the top of the 4th and every other game's final. That's not a good sign, right?
You see 7 finals up there. We'll switch to the West Coast games. We're right along with them.
All right.
Swing and a miss. Curveball. Rare curveball sighting.
I think it's the first one of the night, isn't it, Coach?
Yes, it is.
And that's got to be hard when you don't throw your first curveball to the 4th inning and to have control of it because you don't know where it's coming from. You haven't thrown it yet.
Base hit for Guerrero to start off the 4th.
You talk about a level swing, Paul. This guy's got the most level swing in the big leagues.
Yeah, that's why he's a good hitter in my mind. I mean, he covers the ball away. He's got power to pull the ball too. It's just, he's a phenomenal hitter day in and day out.
And they talked about over the last few years to try to get him to elevate a little bit more, and he didn't like it. He can't do it. He didn't want to change that swing that's natural to him. Because he's got plenty of pop to hit more homers, but that level swing's more of a line drive style.
Varsho swings through 97. Struck out in the 1st inning. Goldschmidt holding Guerrero at first. Nobody out, top of the 4th. Guerrero, the Blue Jays' 3rd hit. Oh and 2. Probably the hardest sport to project is baseball. All the sports, you have to project how they're going to be as they mature. But when you look at Cam Schlittler, 7th round draft pick by the Yankees, throwing 89 to 90 miles an hour. And here, 4 years later, this is what has developed. Somebody saw that. Swing and a miss. Varsho down on strikes. They saw him growing. They saw ways that they could get velocity up, and it certainly worked.
He looked like Bambi pitching when he first signed. He's all arms and legs, and didn't really have great mechanics or synchronicity in his delivery, and he just has grown by leaps and bounds. And yes, the Yankee organization deserves a lot of credit. That's a great point, Michael.
And they did the same thing with Ben Rice. They projected something in the 8th round.
Exactly. Will Warren.
Before he got hurt, Clark Schmidt. One on, one out. 1-0 count on Okamoto. 1-1.
You know you're in the hitters' heads when every time you throw a pitch, they look up the scoreboard to see what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single hitter looks up to see the information.
Tried to get him on a curveball on the inside corner, just missed.
Well, he had it if he threw it for a strike. That ball kind of backed up and went the other way.
Swing and a miss. Okamoto is 1 for 9 so far in the series with 4 strikeouts. Foul back. Okamoto signed a 4-year, $60 million contract with Toronto beginning in January after spending 11 seasons with the Yomiuri Giants. 6-time All-Star in Japan.
He had a good swing at that last pitch.
It's really the first one that he's kind of caught up to. That ball was down to 94. He just didn't have the hop on it the pitches before. That one did.
Little hop there. 2 away.
You know, Michael, you talked earlier in the game about the difference, and the 94, you know, was kind of misthrown a little bit, kind of hanging, and he fouled it off. And then you go to 98, and it's by you. So, you know, that's your point. You know, 3 or 4 miles an hour makes a huge difference.
Here's Pinago. Robbed of an extra base hit. Brilliant play in left field by Bellinger. And that was in the second inning, second out of the second inning.
.49 pitches, 35 strikes from Schlittler so far.
Snap throw to first. Diving back ahead of the tag, Guerrero, but very close.
Actually a pretty good play because, you know, you're coming around the left-handed hitter and you kind of hides the throw from the base runner. Really good job by Guerrero. Look at this, kind of a trick slide, because Goldschmidt would have had him. Kind of pulled the right arm out and snuck the left arm to the back of the bag. You're always taught to go away to the back of the bag to stay away from the tag, but then to bring your hand. I mean, we've had some really good with Volpe at home plate the other day, and that slide there, that's just good baseball instincts.
Looked like he was trying to call timeout. He's saying, "You gonna challenge?" And it was me. A little less chap today. And that's why he's got that guy in the mound. Iago down looking. 6 strikeouts. For Schlittler will go to the bottom of the 4th. It's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And tonight's picture is of Sophia and Jack. They look like they enjoyed a beautiful day at the ballpark. A good-looking couple. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and post your picture to social media to reflect your love for the Yankees, and we might spotlight you in a future game. It'll be Judge, Bellinger, and Chisholm here in the 4th inning. 0-0. Watching some late-night primetime baseball on Prime. Advertises a pitcher's duel, so far living up to it. Blue Jays with 3 hits against Schlittler, 1 hit for the Yankees against Savage. 1-0.
Where was that pitch?
He's 6'7".
Yeah. You maybe want to keep your challenges, boy. Aaron Judge, anytime I get a chance for a strike, I need it.
I love watching Judge's routine, a creature of habit.
Yeah.
Every single time he does the same thing, like a golfer with a pre-shot routine.
Yep.
He is so disciplined. Every time he walks up to the plate, he measures his stance,
Yeah.
where he stands in the box. You know, StatCast measures that now, and where your stance is in the box. If you deviate a little bit. How did you keep track of where you stood in the box? Or did you have a, sort of a
most of the time it was just where, people had dug out at the back of the box, because, it's very awkward to be where a hole is and you're in front of it or back of it. So I kind of staying there unless you had to dig it out.
And Judge strikes out for the second time, this time looking.
Well, there's certain, we talk about induced vertical break, that riding action, that four-seamer that just kind of jumps and hops. And that one had 24 inches. That is at or near the top of any pitcher in Major League Baseball. It's not just about the velocity. It's about the life on the pitch, which has to do with efficient spin. I mean, there's several factors involved, but Savage has it. I mean, that ball just jumps at you. Just to give you some context on that, when you talk about numbers and metrics, average-ish is probably in the 16, 17-inch range on that metric. He's at 24 inches on that last pitch to Judge.
Yeah, anything that's different, velocity, anything that's that much different, it makes it hard to hit.
The old rising fastball, right?
Yeah.
The Nolan Ryan rising fastball.
I used to always hear the story, the ball can't rise. Well, you know what? I'd swear. Then he threw a funny pitch because it seemed like it was rising.
It drops less is what it does. It just doesn't come down to where you expect it to.
Three and two on Bellinger. See the numbers with that splitter in that game in the playoffs against the Yankees. That was an emergency stay alive hack. Just got a piece.
It gets to be so nasty that you almost kind of just aim the bat to, to kind of make contact, and it just takes away all your balance.
Strike three. Bellinger down looking. Fifth strikeout for Savage.
It's a 1-2 punch. They both come out of the same window with the same arm action, and even though that looks like it's up and hangs a little bit, coming at you, it just locks him up. He thought it was going to be a high fastball out of the zone. It just kind of dropped right down in there.
Chisholm hit the ball well leading up the second, but a nice play to the backhand side by Guerrero. Took a base hit away, and then Guerrero with a clean feed to Savage. A few from above. Line drive, it's a base hit down the right field line. Sanchez cuts the ball off. Jazz makes the turn. He's going to stop at first with a single. First really well struck ball.
This ball was just smoked, and you would think it would get to the wall, but Sanchez does a great job to cut it off. Keep it from getting to the wall. Jazz got out of the box, thinking this is a sure double, but Sanchez does a good job. I realize it's wet out there too, so that ball kind of skips and gets here a little quicker than you think.
Goldschmidt takes the strike.
And the Yankees have been extremely aggressive on the bases this series. I don't know if they have something on Toronto, or they're just going to kind of push the envelope a bit. I had 5 stolen bases game 1, a couple last night.
See Spencer Jones on deck, meaning that Grisham was indeed hurt, legging out that double.
Guerrero, ball gets caught in the webbing there. Good to dig it out. It's the first base glove. I mean, that ball almost went through.
Remember when the ball got stuck in El Duque's glove and he threw it to first?
Yep.
The whole glove.
If I'm a first baseman, I would not use a glove like that. I would have not an open web.
You know, when you're talking about the open web, there's the, you know, the rawhide, the strings, you know, they're a little longer and they have a tendency to break a lot.
Still 0-2 on the veteran Goldschmidt. Bottom of the fourth inning, 0-0. Yankees 2 hits, the Blue Jays 3. Foul ball. Now, if you just joined us, you are not seeing a replay of the game. Start of the game was delayed 2 hours and 11 minutes because of a storm. But we're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Yes, it's 10-16 on the East Coast. And Valenzuela wants to talk with Yasavage. Here's the El Duque play.
Pretty good heave, too. That wasn't like just a couple feet, you know.
Well, he was fun to watch pitch.
Loved it. And Terry Mulholland did that a couple times. I've seen that around baseball, but I don't know that I've seen one that far. I mean,
popped up on the right side. And Clement makes the play for the final out. Yankees strand one. We'll go into the fifth inning. NASCAR returns to Prime this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern with one of the crown jewels of racing, the Coca-Cola 600 live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Who will take the checkered flag at NASCAR's longest race? NASCAR. It's on Prime. Spencer Jones is going to pinch hit for Grisham now. He's going to play center field in place of Grisham. And as soon as we get an injury update, we will tell you. This is Jones' second game in center field since being called up. And he's played the majority of his minor league games in center. He can also play the corners. .22 games this year in center field for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. 2-0 count on Ernie Clement as we start the fifth inning. 0-0. High fly ball, left field. Bellinger's there, plenty of room. 1 out. Here's Jesus Sanchez. He's singled, opening up the third inning. And now he singles here in the fifth.
Well, both singles have been kind of jam shots, but he stays through the ball, doesn't come off of it. First one he kind of pushed over Volpe's head, up and in, just kind of pulls it. That's a cutter. It hits towards the label, but if you stay through the ball and fight through it, you're strong enough to drive it into the outfield.
He's strong.
Well, that side view really shows the, you know, the hands come into the body. It's just how your body reacts to, I'm beat, I got to get my hands in to try to get the barrel out in front.
Valenzuela, fly ball to right. Judge is there for out number 2. number 9 hitter, the shortstop, Andres Jimenez. He struck out in the 3rd inning. 6 strikeouts for Schlittler, no walks, and 4 singles. Line drive, it's a base hit. Judge will field. Sanchez will go to 3rd. The throw is cut off by Volpe. And the first runner getting to 3rd base for the Blue Jays. 1st and 3rd, 2 outs, and Springer coming up.
Well, the bottom of the order has set the table here as they turn it around. Again, a good fastball. Mendes must have been just looking dead red inside because he was able to get to it, line it into right field.
Last time up in the 3rd, Springer struck out looking. And one thing about Schlittler, he is coming out and challenging Springer with the pitch that Springer handles best.
Where's Wells going there? Was he going to throw on that pitch behind?
Probably.
Looks like, I mean, he was coming out like he was going to throw.
Try to get a pickoff. The Yankees have been very aggressive with their pickoffs behind runner. But you are right, Michael. Cam Schlittler is fearless on the mound. One of the best fastball hitters in the game. And you know what? This is what you call, trusting your stuff. You hear a lot of cliches about pitching. Well, this is the epitome of trusting your stuff.
Pitch count in great shape. About to throw his 61st. Foul ball. Sanchez was really trying to distract Schlittler. He was dancing far down the line because McMahon, with Springer up, is playing very deep and cannot check him back. As a right-handed pitcher, did that distract you, David?
It could. Anything you can do to distract a pitcher, you never know what's going to work. It's worth a shot.
Runner goes. Foul ball. Jimenez trying to steal 2nd. Runners lead, 2 outs. One, 2. Runner goes again. Pitches low, no throw. Stolen base for Jimenez.
Yeah, I was almost wondering if he was going to try that curveball just to get him off the fastball, but he went with a slider. Good job by Wells. I mean, anything breaking ball wise, just to take the speed off would have got Springer. But now you're back into that count where you got to go back to what you trust, and that's one of your 3 fastballs.
3-2 with Guerrero on deck. This is his first 3-ball count all night.
You got to trust the call here, huh, Coney?
It's a big spot. Big spot in the game. Be sure. Showed some maturity there. Gather yourself.
8th pitch coming. Fly ball, left center, on the run, Bellinger, and he makes the play. Schlittler works out of trouble. Blue Jays strand 2. We're halfway through.
Welcome back. Spencer Jones leading things off here as we head to the bottom of the fifth. It'll be just the third plate appearance for Jones in pinstripes. When I spoke to him before game one of this series about being here at home and putting on the uniform for the first time, he said Nick Swisher always used to tell him that pinstripes made him feel like a superhero. He said, yeah, I want to feel like that too. I want to be a part of the history, the tradition, feel the crowd here in the Bronx, and experience everything that it has to offer. Guys, he's still a young guy trying to find his footing in the big leagues. It started facing Jacob Misiorowski, and now Trey Yesavage here. It certainly hasn't been an easy road for him, but we do know when he barrels one up, it can go a long, long way.
Hitting 150 so far. His first at bat of the night. And a strike.
Dylan Cease really kind of exposed him last night high with anything high hard or the off-speed pitch. He was not able to catch up to the ball.
Still have not received word on Grisham, but obviously left because of an injury. We'll see what that injury is and what level of concern there is.
You know, sometimes when you slide, especially on a wet field, it kind of crunches the back of your knee. And hopefully that's all it is, because it'll go away. You just hope that it's not something that he tweaked or pulled.
This guy the other way on the run is Piniago. It's foul ball in the seats.
Well, Yesavage too, also 2-to-1 strikes to balls ratio. We've seen both pitchers in dominant form, throwing a lot of strikes, owning the strike zone. 66 pitches, 44 strikes.
Going into this season, Yesavage was Baseball America's #10 overall prospect on their top 100 list. He's pitching like that tonight. 8th pitch coming. High fly ball left center. Varsho and Piniago. Piniago makes the play in front of the track for the first out.
Wow, that was a pitch that he really kind of hung there. He did him a favor. And that wasn't missed by much.
No, 104 miles an hour up the bat, just a little under it. Good at bat from Spencer Jones. It gets a real tough cookie on the mound.
Yeah, he took a couple pitches with that split finger out of the strike zone and waited for a good one to hit. He got it and just missed it.
Ryan McMahon holds up. Count 1-0. Now, we talked about Yesavage pitching in Game 7 of the World Series in relief. See some of the particulars there. But he had an unbelievable performance in Game 5 in L.A. against the Dodgers. 7 innings, 1 run, no walks, and 12 strikeouts. And that put the Blue Jays up 3-2 in the series. And the 12 strikeouts, a World Series rookie record, and the most in the Fall Classic by any pitcher without issuing a walk. That's how good he was. Ground ball. Clement. An announced crowd of 37,497 here in the Bronx. And most of them, I'd say close to all of them, stayed right through the 2-hour and 11-minute rain delay.
That number count us, Michael? We all stayed and hung around once.
No, it doesn't count us.
No?
Nope. There's a strike. That number is paid customers. You got them free.
Coney and I were busy today. We had a little interview this afternoon. We've been here a long time.
It's a great new documentary coming out on Joe Torre. It is going to be directed by John Turturro. The legendary John Turturro was here to talk to Paulie and me, and what a treat to meet him. Huh?
You know, it's funny, Michael. We were talking stories, and Coney was talking some stories I didn't even know. I mean, I've been around it for 100 years, but things come up that, pitchers sometimes don't know what players are doing. Players don't know what pitchers are doing. I learned a lot today.
So you guys were interviewed together? Or?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, 2 on Volpe, fouled out to the catcher, leading off the third. 1-2.
You got a favorite role that John Turturro has played? And
I thought he did a great job playing Billy Martin in the Bronx.
Yes, he did.
Bronx is Burning.
So many roles, so many legendary roles.
Swing and a miss on the slider. And the Yankees go down in order. 1, 2, 3. We're going to the 6th. Time now for Discipline That Delivers, brought to you by Vanguard.
Well, we expected a pitcher's duel tonight, and that's exactly what we've got. When you think about Cam Schlittler, you think about aggressiveness in the strike zone, nasty movement, high velocity, and a lot of hitters shaking their heads when they go back to the dugout.
6 strikeouts, no walks. Guerrero leads off. Ground ball. Oh, nice play by Goldschmidt. And he flips to Schlittler. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Boy, great plays in the inning are tremendous for pitchers, but when they're leadoffs and they keep people leadoff runners, that can change the whole inning. When you get this late in the game, you're at the top of the 6th. Defense becomes a big play when you see how tough it is for either team to score runs.
There's Varsho. 1-0.
Well, you mentioned, some hitters walking out of there shaking hand, and you never really, in the back of your mind, want to admit it that I'm overmatched. When the guy's throwing sinkers and cutters and 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, sometimes you're overmatched when they're this good.
Hammered right field. It's a base hit. It'll go to the wall. Playing it out there is Judge. And Varsho with a double. His first extra base hit for the Blue Jays.
Little high cutter. Yeah. Just didn't give Varsho credit. He got up on it.
He was kind of what I was saying, overmatched last time up. You just kind of blew him away with fastballs, but with the cutter, if it's not thrown correctly, kind of spins, takes a little velocity off of it. He was able to catch up to it and hammer it to right field.
Here's Okamoto. Fly ball right, a strikeout. So he's 0 for 2. Doing the curve. Low, 1-0. Now, after a slow start here in the big leagues, he moved back in the box by about 7 inches. And he said that that's helped him identify breaking balls.
It's just, the back of the box always gave you in your mind and a little bit, just a little more time. And, you get in the front of the box. A lot of times you feel like balls, you end up swinging at balls that are down out of the strike zone. Where if you're back in the box, you have a better perspective of a ball and strike. I always did, at least.
Now, I've heard from guys that stand up in the box that you can hit the breaking ball before it breaks. Is that true?
It's kind of like the Little League series. If it's gonna, if they see up in the box, catchers pick that up. They see you moving around, they usually pick it up. But I always was comfortable in one spot, never wanted to move, because then you're already in your mind, you're saying the pitcher's in my head. You got to control what you control.
Did you pick up that movement, David, or did you depend on your catcher to pick it up?
more the catcher on where he stood in the box. I was trying to read the swing, read the body language and the swing of the hitter.
2-2. Right in on the hands, foul back.
You can tell from the mound if he moves up on the dish, you know, in and out, east and west, not north, a little difficult north and south.
When you look at the batter's box, I mean, by the end of the, even now, I mean, there's big holes in the box, and you pretty much, to get comfortable, got to stay where those holes are dug in.
Is that a swing and a miss or a foul ball? Swing and a miss. He goes down on strikes. The ball was dropped by Wells, so took a moment to see.
This is an honest man right here, Michael. You know, if you're a hitter and you clearly missed it, but you see it pop it out, and you know, you look back at the umpire, hey, I got a piece of that. No, I got a piece of that ball.
You can see him underneath that cutter. Strikeout number 7 for Schlittler tonight.
Here's Piniago. 0 for 2. One and one. Looks like he's getting more velocity on the cutter as the game goes on. He's at 95. That was a 97-mile-an-hour cutter. And there's the four-seamer at 99. Fouled away. Makes the seats. The dangerous Clement on deck. 80 pitches for Schlittler. Still 1 and 2.
You talk about fighting it off. That ball up and in, but you're beat. There's nothing you could do and just kind of swat it the other way. Hope to get a better hack this time.
Runner at second, 2 outs, top of the 6th. 0-0. Fouled that one straight back.
He's been a tough out, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great at bat when you look at it. I mean, you've seen a lot of four-seamers, but still, they're all upper 90s to 100, and he almost kind of quick pitch slide stepped in there, which would even make it quicker, and he was able to foul it off.
Gets away from Wells, but Varsho stays put.
If he gets this up a little bit more, he might have had him. You see, he kind of wanted to offer at it. That was way in front of home plate on the curveball. It's hard to have good command of a pitch that you don't throw that off.
Yeah, I remember, I think he threw his first curveball in the 4th inning.
Two. Fly ball left field. Bellinger will put it away, and that'll do it in the 6th as the Blue Jays strand a runner. Will go to the bottom of the inning. name that Yankee. 221 average, 245 hits, 47 home runs. Played for the Yankees in 06. And the Jays the next year. 10 teams. There's a 9. Started with the Royals, finished with the Guardians. Austin Wells swings and misses as we start the bottom of the 6th inning.
Trying to put this all together, Michael. I'm not having much luck at this point, but hang with me.
Clue, a long time.
Clue is backup catcher.
Backup catcher.
Another clue, I'm told, great mustache. So it's obviously Dylan Cease.
I was going to say Dylan Cease pitched last night. He wasn't a backup catcher. This guy's got a great mustache. It's not him either.
2-2.
I got it. I got it. It's amazing.
Really?
Just threw an answer out there. Yeah, the mustache gave it away, though.
Hammered foul.
It's a handlebar kind of, you know, it comes down a little, comes down a little bit.
That's not just a mustache. That's a soul patch, too. Go with it.
Two and 2 on Wells, leading off the bottom of the 6th. Nothing game. And another strikeout of Wells. He's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks today. But if you're going to show Cease, you have to show the W.B. Mason sign.
Well, you threw the Jim Croce on me. But
Yeah.
Well, Jim Croce was a Yankee fan, by the way.
I didn't know that, really.
Yeah, one of the songs mentioned a player like back in the 20s or something. What do you think about this? Yeah, Speedball Tucker was in the song.
Look at you.
See that?
Speedball Tucker.
Maybe that's where Bruce got that phrase for Glory Days. He helps you throw that speedball by.
I don't think it was that kind of speedball he's talking about.
Just saying. Coney, it's very late at night. You're all right.
It was the 70s.
Yeah.
It was Jim Croce.
It's past 11. It's like the night show. You're allowed to say different things.
Don't tell him that, Paul.
Fire could take time in the body.
2-1. Two and 2. Now, Savage, 87 pitches. His high this year, 88. No one warming up right now for the Blue Jays. Now Fluharty is up. So Rice making Savage work. Rice 0 for 2 tonight. Meredith, you have an update on Trent Grisham.
Michael, the Yankees just announced that he left tonight's game with left knee discomfort. He was seen here at the stadium by the Yankees team physicians. He'll undergo some imaging tomorrow. So no news on Grisham really till he undergoes that imaging tomorrow.
Fly ball. Pinago puts it away. 2 down. Well, that eliminates what bothered him last year, which was a hamstring. So now you hope it's nothing serious with the knee. Seemed like he was grabbing that after he slid. So here's Judge, who struck out twice against Savage, who has 7 strikeouts and no walks. 0-1.
Well, your scouting report with the high fastball and the low splitty is what you've seen to Aaron Judge all night. Struck him out on a high fastball, and he started him off with that low split finger.
Hammered foul.
Those are the swings right there that would, if I was a third base coach, it'd make me a little nervous. If that guy's swinging a bat, see the split finger grip, and that's going to get him out in front. And if you're a third base coach, look out.
Yeah. That one actually stayed up in the strike zone. He got a good hack at it.
And Judge down on strikes for the 3rd time. 8th strikeout for Trey Savage. Over 6 innings. Trey bien. David, take me through that matchup with Judge.
What's a marquee matchup? I mean, this is what you pay to see. The best hitter in the game and one of the best young pitchers in the game, and he's not giving in. Savage is not going to give him much to hit. That was kind of a hanger there. He's got him out in front, but everything is nasty and down, and that last pitch was as good as it gets. Down and away, off speed, paint.
Kid told Judge it was his birthday and gets a present. How nice is that? Ernie Clement starts off the 7th against Cam Schlittler. Well, we sold you on this matchup, and it has delivered. Just 2 hits against Savage, hasn't walked a batter, 8 strikeouts. 6 against Schlittler, has not walked a batter, 7 strikeouts.
That's the way baseball should be played, though. Combined, you get 15 strikeouts, but no walks, though. Put the ball over the plate. Let's see what happens.
Two and 1 on Ernie Clement, who's 0 for 2 against Schlittler.
The thing that allows you to do as a starting pitcher is get deeper in the game. To your point, throwing strikes.
Dribbled slowly to third, going to be a very tough play. And McMahon made it close, but Clement beat it out. That's about as close as you could make a ball like that.
I didn't think he had a chance at all.
Yeah, this is the one I figured he'd just glove it and forget about it, but just a tremendous bare hand play. Clement runs pretty well.
Scott Brocious-like.
Yeah.
Brocious is one of the best I ever saw making that play. McMahon did that as well as you possibly can.
Here's Sanchez, 2 for 2. So the base hit by Clement, the 7th against Cam Schlittler. This will be Schlittler's 90th pitch coming up. Jake Bird, we saw him yesterday, warming up for the Yanks. One and 1. Oh, prime drone. Great shots. Patrolling the Bronx sky. 2 and 1. 3-1. And that's the first walk issued by Cam Schlittler. First and second, nobody out.
And went for the backdoor cutter. It just didn't have enough grab on it to get to the outside corner.
Little meeting on the mound. Also giving Bird more time. And they might be going over a bunt situation too, because they have not shied away from bunting.
I really think that when you have a veteran like a Paul Goldschmidt to kind of lead the charge, to read this situation, he's leading it. So yes, you're right. It's about possible scenarios. Make sure you're on the right page here in the pitch selection, but also let's be ready here, because the Blue Jays have shown that they do utilize the bunt. And you've got first and second and nobody out in a 0-0 game. You have to be prepared. You have options. You can do the wheel play.
And Valenzuela did lay down a sac bunt in the third. Yankees are in at the corner, so that's what they're expecting.
Well, he really squared around early the first time up.
And
he did
squaring
here.
again. Throw to second. Just got back in time. That was a play they had on.
Yeah, this is one time where you can catch. If he shuffled. A lot of times as a runner you get off, and if you cross over with that left foot, you can get caught off. This was a smart decision to try. Didn't work out, but Clement, a good base runner. You saw him shuffle instead of turning, crossing over.
Goldschmidt, fearless, coming in. And he's going to field the ball. And the throw to first is late. Goldschmidt and Wells kind of had miscommunication. Slowed it down just a bit.
Yeah, Goldschmidt came all the way in from first, and I think they both called it. This is a great bunt again, and yeah, they're fighting over the ball, and then once it's dropped, you've lost the time to get an out.
Yeah, that little bobble cost them the out. Now, who has right of way there? Paul, is it the first baseman or the catcher?
Yeah, I would assume that when you're the first baseman coming in, you see he had kind of turned to make the throw. Coming out as a catcher's position, you're used to making that play, but Goldschmidt had gotten in there, had got in there so far.
I don't know if I've ever seen a play quite like where both guys had their hands on the ball at the same time. That's incredible. I mean, I've seen guys collide. You've seen all kinds of things that can happen there, but both of them kind of gently down and grab the ball together.
Valenzuela gets himself a base hit on this.
I've never seen this. Both of them together. Two hands at once.
Now the bases loaded, nobody out. And here is Jimenez after a trip by Matt Blake. Upstairs.
Remember, Jimenez is one of the few guys that actually got around and lined the ball to right field off Schlittler earlier in the game.
Well, Schlittler is emptying the tank right here. And now Giovanni Cruz joins Bird. Kind of a protection swing. 1-2. Obviously, Schlittler would love a strikeout here. Clement at third, Sanchez at second, Valenzuela over at first. Bases loaded, nobody out in the seventh. Nothing game.
So you got the bases loaded. You got nobody out. You're the manager of the Yankees, as we just saw Aaron Boone there. Pitch number 100 coming here.
Yeah, your leash is pretty short right here. This might be your hitter, or last hitter, even if you do get a strikeout.
Career high 107. He did that in the playoffs last year. This year 106 is the high. There's a breakdown. In the fourth, he threw 19. And the 2-2. Reaches out to foul it off. Still 2-2. Has to make it work on this pitch. 3-2. There's no place to put him. Tough at bat by Jimenez. Pitch 103. Battling.
He shook off there, Coney. He went to the four-seamer, so he obviously was getting a cutter or a sinker before that, and then went right back to the four-seam fastball.
Ninth pitch coming up. Really making the young right-hander work.
There's your CVS list, Michael. Pitch number 10 of this at bat.
Another foul ball. And you said, David, the longer it goes, advantage batter.
Yeah, so you got to do it again on the mound. And you've had a long night already. Number 106 coming.
Yeah, you're 20 pitches this inning now. It's you know, this is exhausting for Schlittler.
Just missed. Did Wells challenge, or he knocked off the mask of Baloo? He challenged.
Yeah, that ball was low. It's not going to work, but what did that bat by Jimenez?
And ABS challenge by T-Mole. It is a ball.
Yeah, Wells checked both ways on the swing and the pitch.
So that forces in a run. And the Blue Jays lead 1-0, and that at bat gets Schlittler out of the game.
Well, it's quite a performance. You know, he's going to leave the game, I'm sure, disappointed on that walk down 1-0. But what a performance from Cam Schlittler.
Advanced billing, two young right-handers at the top of their craft. A pitching duel? Oh yeah. They are showing off their stuff. Punching people out. Posting zeros. Savage against Schlittler. It lived up to the billing. And the first one who blinked was Schlittler walking in a run. As Bird comes on and deals a strike to George Springer. So the Yankees make the call to the bullpen, brought to you by Taco Bell, and that brings in Jake Bird. So he saw mostly fastballs from Schlittler. He saw 2 breaking balls against Bird. Bases still loaded, still nobody out. 1-0 Toronto. Tried it again. This time Springer got a piece. Matched the season high with 106 pitches. Didn't walk a batter till this inning.
A couple walks and then that perfect bunt that Wells and Goldschmidt kind of fought over, and it just ended up costing them a run. Nice.
McMahon's going to come home for the force. That was a nice play on the backhand on the short hop, so they get the out and the bases remain loaded.
Well, you're trying to minimize the damage here. You got bases loaded, and no doubt here, a short hop. That's not an easy play. You have to have either stay back or come in. He had to come in to get the play at the plate, which gave him an in-between hop.
You see the runner trying to get in the way of the throw, too.
Here's Guerrero. Fly ball, fairly deep right. Going back, Judge will make the play. Tagging is Sanchez. He'll score. Moving to third is... No, Sanchez didn't tag. Valenzuela tagged and scored as Jimenez went to third. It's a sac fly for Guerrero. It's 2-0 Toronto.
Guerrero Jr. is just sitting on a ball away just to get that other run in. It wasn't even his full swing. Knowing that Bird is probably going to give you a breaking ball, which he did. You see the release, and just sitting on that ball away, put it in play, get a run in. It's a smart piece of hitting.
Picks up his 22nd ribby, now first and third with 2 men out.
Situational hitting.
Here's Varsho. 1-0. They haven't exactly tattooed the Yankee pitchers. Infield single, walk, bunt single, walk, fielder's choice, and then a sac fly. Did he go? No, he did not, said John Tumpain. I think he held. Close.
I don't know anymore about that call. I give up. Especially with what they're doing in the minor leagues this year.
Was it line to line? You got to break the foul line, right?
Yep.
Runner goes from first. No throw, so a stolen base for Springer. Two and two on Varsho. Swing and a miss, got him. Good performance by Bird. But the Blue Jays finally get on the board. They score 2. They leave 2. And at the end of 6.5, it's the Blue Jays 2 and the Yankees nothing. It's time for the 7th inning stretch, and we'll stay right here as we honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you rise, remove your caps, and please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest. Bronx native Frank DePasqua, who is both a seaman in the United States Navy and a specialist in the United States Army. And he served in the Korean War. The Yankees say thank you, Frank, for your sacrifice and for your service to our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white before. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
Now time for the 7th inning recap, brought to you by Car Shield. 2-8-0. Blue Jays 0-2-0 for the Yankees. Savage has been unbelievable. His day is over. Sanchez 2 for 2 with a walk. Schlittler was great. Faltered a little with the 2 walks in the 7th. And Trent Grisham exited with left knee discomfort. The game started after a 2-hour and 11-minute pregame rain delay. But we've played through since then. The weather's been great. That'll do it for Savage, and they will go to the first arm out of the bullpen, the lefty Mason Fluharty. Crowd of 37,497 for game 3 of this 4-game set. Yankees have won the first 2, so they're going to have to come back against the Blue Jays bullpen if they want to win this one. Cody Bellinger was 0 for 2 against Savage. Seventh inning last night, Fluharty put up a 0, and he worked around a Bellinger single. A strike. Lefties are 4 for 34 against him with no extra base hits, but one of the hits was Bellinger's last night. And he's going to get 2 lefties right at the start. Bellinger and Chisholm, and then Paul Goldschmidt follows. High fly ball. Sanchez puts it away. Very odd approach out there.
Wow, you saw Bellinger really saw that curveball well. You pick it up and you're like, I got it. And he took a great swing, just got underneath it.
Jeff Hoffman, who's lost his closer role, now working in lower leverage situations, but this would not be low leverage. Here's Chisholm. 1-0. Fluharty, 24 years old, second big league season. And Jazz fouls it off into the Yankee dugout. Giovanni Cruz, we see him, it'll be his major league debut.
I bet he throws hard, bro. Huh? Throw 100 in the minor leagues, you can throw 102 in the big leagues, right?
His heart's pumping right now.
Shallow center field. And it's going to drop in for a base hit. Varsho, brilliant defensively, took a step back, and that cost him that play.
Yeah, and a weird sound. I think he hit it off the end of the bat, and it fooled Varsho. You see him, take a... He froze and then took a step back. It's not a good read on the ball. No way for Jimenez to catch up to it.
Second hit of the night for Jazz Chisholm. Jimenez came close to bailing out Varsho. Fly ball shallow right center. Jazz was running And the ball's going to drop in. So Jazz got saved there. If the catch is made, it's a double play because he stayed at second. So another blue hit for the Yankees. This one by Goldschmidt, first and second, one out.
Yeah, he picked up the ball late, and watch. I mean, there's no decision to be made here. If he catches it, I'm out anyway. Thank goodness he didn't. His foot was on the bag if he had to retag it going back. But Sanchez not able to come up with it. Big break for the Yankees.
He got there in time. He just kind of whiffed that.
Whipped it.
So Spencer Jones due up. They send up Ahmed Rosario to pinch hit for Jones. And looks like Jesus Sanchez is down in right field.
That might have knocked the wind out of him. I mean, he went straight onto his chest.
Now at this point, take another look. Full force of his body on his stomach and his chest. At this point, it looks like they're going to keep him foolhardy against Rosario rather than bringing in Hoffman. And Rosario in his career close to a 300 hitter against lefty pitching. What do you think happened there, Paul?
Yeah, I think that he kind of banged his neck, or he knocked the wind out of himself, and it's he kind of lost his balance. Yeah, it looks like he's struggling a little bit. He banged his chest up a little bit.
He's going to come out of the game. So Schneider will have to take somebody off the bench. Keeps putting his hand to his chest. Miles Straw is jogging to the outfield. So he hands another defensive card to Pinago, who's going to go play right, and Straw will be in left. Well, the Yankees have an opportunity here, and they'll go to Rosario against the lefty Fluharty. And it will not be Fluharty because here comes John Schneider, Blue Jays manager. He's going to go to the right-hander. Well, Hoffman has struggled. Let's see how he does against Rosario. Yankees down by 2, and they have 2 on. Rosario against Hoffman, first and second, and he swings at the first pitch. 0-1. Hoffman pitched a scoreless inning on Monday. Still has a 7.82 ERA over his last 14 games. So Rosario pinch hitting for Jones, who replaced the injured Trent Grisham. Good take there by Rosario. 1-1. Chisholm's at second, Goldschmidt's at first. The inside move, chasing back Jazz. McMahon on deck. First and second, 1 man out. Bottom of the 7th, 2-0 Toronto. 1-2. 2-2. Double Cruz. Fernando and Giovanni. Fernando closer to you. Two and two. Fly ball right field. Pinata is on the run, reaches in, and he makes the catch. Tagging and going to third is Jazz Chisholm. Good play by Pinago.
Yeah, visiting player going down the line. Not much room in Yankee Stadium. He makes a great play over there, bangs into the wall, but kind of reaches over. Jazz tagging up. I mean, right there when you really don't know the ballpark. It's a good play. We need a little fan help over there, Cody, huh?
Somewhere in the middle, right? We had a couple of fans that kind of reached in the glove a year ago.
In the World Series.
In the World Series, got kicked out of the stadium for that.
Here's Ryan McMahon, first and third. 2 down. And that's going to be challenged by McMahon. He thought it was outside.
I think that's a good challenge.
And it was. He challenged immediately. No hesitation whatsoever. Two and 0. Volpe on deck. Nubbed in front of the plate. Gets the angle and makes the play. Getting McMahon at first. So Hoffman comes on and does the job. Yankee strand 2. Well, come out to Yankee Stadium tomorrow when the Yankees take on the Blue Jays in a postseason rematch. It's cap night. First 18,000 guests, 21 and older, receive a Yankees cap courtesy of Budweiser. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. Sharp-looking cap. Major League debut for Giovanni Cruz, 26 years old, from San Francisco de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. It's his Major League debut after 8 seasons in the minors. Rosario takes over in left, and Bellinger will move to center. Cruz against Okamoto. Foul back. Meredith, you caught up with Giovanni.
Michael, I asked him how he got the news that he was heading to the big leagues, and he said on Monday, the off day for the Rail Riders, he was with some teammates. They were going out to get some lunch. He looked at his phone. It was ringing, and it was a number he didn't recognize. So at first, he didn't answer the call. Then he thought better of it and answered, and it was his manager, Shelly Duncan, saying, "You're late." And Giovanni Cruz said, "What are you talking about? It's an off day. Where am I supposed to be?" And he said, "You're late to go to the big leagues. It's time you get up there." And that is how he delivered the news. Now, he did go on to get his lunch, but said he wasn't hungry anymore. He had phone calls to make. He eventually made it here to the Bronx and said he was excited, emotional, nervous, kind of all of those feelings at the same time. But yesterday, he had the chance to really settle in. He said the guys in the bullpen made him feel like he was at home, so felt comfortable after spending a little bit of time here, but certainly excited to get this opportunity.
And his first batter, he strikes out Okamoto.
Well, known for his fastball. That's a pretty good slider right there.
15 games at AAA, 3.0 ERA with 23 strikeouts, 9 walks in 18 innings. Here's Pinago. Left field coming on is Rosario, and he makes the play.
Two quick outs. You couldn't ask for anything more in your first stint on the mound. Huh?
What you want to see is him, under control and throwing strikes. So far, so good. That was 101 miles an hour, that last pitch.
There's Ernie Clement. One-on-one. Signed a minor league deal with the Yankees in November. A little behind in spring training because of a shoulder issue, but he got in toward the end of the spring campaign, and he turned some heads with that triple-digit fastball. (0-2). And he is the first number 96 in Yankee history. There's only one never used number left for the Yankees, and that's number 87. That's double digit. Obviously, they have a lot of triple digits they can go to in another century. Strike three. Good slider. What an impressive first inning. Cruz waited a long time for his major league debut, and he retires the Blue Jays in order 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts. Well, tomorrow, and yes, the Yankees and the Blue Jays play the series finale right here in the Bronx. Extended coverage starts at 5 with 2 full hours of pregame leading up to first pitch at 7:05 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Tyler Rogers takes over. Good numbers. Face 8, 9, and 1, starting with Anthony Volpe in the first pitch. Inside. 1-0. This is his 397th appearance since 2021. That leads all major league pitchers. And a pretty good ERA over that time, 2.66. 35 years old, 8th big league season.
Jim Cotton used to come up to me when we were playing tennis. Remember Mike Venafro? Sidearm guy just like that. He said, you ever try standing on your head? You get a better look at the ball. It just made a lot of sense to him. I was like, thanks, kiddie. Let me see if I can do that.
And that's being challenged. Wow. Yeah, if it's right in the strike zone, not even on the edge, they do give you a fine in their kangaroo court.
Wow. I think I said.
Served into right field. Pinago back makes the play. After his major league debut, Cruz got a lot of love in that Yankee dugout. 8 years is a long wait. And every high five must feel like gold.
He didn't seem nervous at all. He was ready for the moment.
You know, all I heard about was his velocity. We saw that at 101, but the slider he showed was really good.
So Wells with a ground ball. And Wells starting to hear it from the stadium crowd, as he's now 3 for his last 36. Back to the top of the order, and Ben Rice. Tyler has a twin brother, Taylor, who's with the Twins. Actually played on the same team together for 2 years.
Identical twins.
And with the Giants. And a strike. 4th set of twins to be teammates in Major League history. Joe and Red Shannon, 1915 Braves. Eddie and Johnny O'Brien, Pirates of the 1950s. And Jose and Ozzie Canseco on the 1990 A's. Now, one time in school, they switched places for Tyler's Spanish class. What they didn't know, well, there was a pop quiz, and Taylor got an F. So that was the end of that experiment. Swing and a miss. Pretty good inning for the sidewinder as the Yankees go down in order, and we go to the ninth. Well, here's a look at the Yankees' upcoming schedule, brought to you by Booking.com. One more game against the Blue Jays in Tampa Bay for 3. Then on the road, 3 in Kansas City, an off day, and 3 in Sacramento. See that Friday game? Is Garrett Cole making his Major League debut for 2026? You bet.
You sound a little bitter about that, Michael.
No, not at all.
You're not going to be in the house or something? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, you'll have to tune in to find out.
All right. You better let me know. I'm coming.
No, you got it's almost a Who reference in there. You better, you better, you better.
Yeah. Pete Townsend, just saying.
Ground ball, first base. Goldschmidt will take it himself. Straw is retired. So Cruz in his second inning of work is retired 4 in a row. Here's Brandon Valenzuela. Sack bunt in the third. Fly ball to right, and then a perfect bunt that ended up being a base hit in that 2-run set. High fly ball. Deep right center. Judge going back. So is Bellinger. And Bellinger's there to make the play on the track. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Valenzuela thought he had it. Here's Jimenez. His long 11-pitch at bat was the final at bat for Cam Schlittler. He ended up walking with the bases loaded, and that accounted for the first run. And then Guerrero against Bird, a sac fly for the second run. That's the only scoring in the game. Closer for the Blue Jays, getting ready to come in and pitch the bottom of the ninth. Swing and a miss. He waited 8 years. Pitches 2 innings, 6 up, 6 down, just cruising through the Blue Jay lineup. Played for a lot of teams. Paul, you said you had it.
I think it's Sal Fasano with the long mustache.
Wow, look at you. That was a 9, Paul. You got a 9.
I know. Well, I was 0 for the trip, so.
Look at that, going yard, center field at Camden Yards. Perfect throw. Well, a little on the shortstop side, but he got him. Goes the other way. Fasano putting on a show.
I threw a first pitch out one night, kind of long darted, and he picked it for me, handed it to me, made me look better. That's what I remember.
So Aaron Judge against Louis Varland. Varland only needed 6 pitches to go 1, 2, 3 in the 8th inning last night. That was through McMahon, Volpe, and Goldschmidt. This is going to be Judge, Bellinger, and Chisholm. Yankees are down by 2. Hasn't been a great night for Aaron. He's 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts against Varland, though 2 for 5. Both of those hits home runs. Aaron 1 for 10 in the first 3 games of this series. 2-0. You get a base runner, boom. Time run comes up. Yankee offense has been sleepy so far, but Trey Yasavich was just outstanding. Shut him down. Just 2 hits over 6 innings, and the bullpen's taken over. Two and two. Judge has always owned the Blue Jays. Strike 3. Judge strikes out for the 4th time tonight. 2nd time looking.
Everything was away early in the count. Then he comes in, kind of locks him up with an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, that's the Varland changeup.
Bellinger is 0 for 3, has a 15-game home hitting streak on the line. This is the second 4-strikeout game for Judge this year. The other one was opening night in San Francisco. One and two on Bellinger.
94 changeup, huh, Coach?
Yes. Previous pitch was 100.
Serves it to left field, a base hit. Cutting over is Strong. Going for second is Bellinger, and he's going to make it. A double. And that'll bring the time run to the plate.
Well, we talked about earlier in the game, Cody Bellinger is a baseball player. And at this point in the game, slap it any way you can. I mean, balance out front, anything. And then go for 2. You better make sure you're there. You got out of the box quick. Yeah, that's just good hitting right there. That's not trying to pull the ball. That's just trying to slap the ball, put it in play. It's an anxious moment about halfway there, Coney, where you think, man, am I doing the right thing here?
Can't get thrown out at second. Not there. You got to get there.
And a strike to Jazz Chisholm. He has 2 hits tonight. So 2 of the Yankee 5 hits. Quickly 0-2.
The Jazz was sitting on changeup. He was all over that ball. You saw there was no doubt about what he was trying to do with it. Front hips opened up, trying to pull it in the seats.
Goes the other way, foul ball. Yankees return to Prime next Wednesday. Take on the Royals. Don't miss a minute of Yankees coverage beginning at 7, only on Prime. Grounded foul. Goldschmidt on deck. Only lefty they have on the bench is J.C. Escara. Jazz Chisholm is battling. Bottom of the 9th inning, Yankees trying to come back. They're down 2-0. Varland deals. Chop. Varland follows the ball, drops it, and allows Jazz Chisholm to reach. Moving to third is Bellinger. Varland makes that play. He gets Jazz easily, stepping on the bag himself. But he just did not look it into his glove.
Well, Jazz was digging down the line, and speed will make you make mistakes. Just took his eye off of it, off the top of his glove. Watch Jazz. He knows it's going to be something he can put the pressure on, and he did.
Well, that's what speed does. It makes you rush. You know you got to hurry. Right off the end of the glove.
And it scored a hit. So that'll bring up Goldschmidt. Ahmed Rosario is on deck. Did the Yankees dare have Jazz try to steal second to get the tying run in scoring position? He's had a share of walk-offs in his distinguished career. .99 up and in right by him. 1-2.
Yeah, this ball just explodes. It's supposed to be a four-seamer, and it just takes off up and in.
One and two on Goldschmidt. Runner goes. Chop right back to Verlin. A run will score. Jazz advances to second. They get Goldschmidt at first. And the Yankees are down by one with 2 outs and a runner at second base.
Wow, Verlin didn't know that Jazz was running. I mean, he could have launched that thing into center field. I mean, this is, you usually hear the catcher scream, you know, he's going, he's going. He had no clue.
With a full-fledged arm fake to second. I don't know how he held on to this because he's winging it to second. He's thinking, get two. Full arm action, you got to hold on to it. And then check the runner at third. Wow. What a midstream adjustment there from Farley.
So Jazz represents the tying run. Rosario represents the last chance. He's the third Yankee to be in the number 6 spot in the order. Grisham started. Then it was double in the second inning. Seemed like he tweaked his knee, had to leave the game. Jones came in, batted once. Rosario pinch hit in the 7th, fouled out to right field. Now he has a chance to tie the game. The 1-0. 2-0. On deck, Ryan McMahon. Foul straight back.
Wow, he got a good pitch to hit there. Went to a knuckle curve and then kind of hung it up in the middle of the plate.
Well, there's one red light out there, and that's Piñago. The green light's in center field. Chop toward third. It's a foul ball.
That must be the scouting report breaking balls, because that's back-to-back knuckle curves of both of them. It's kind of hung in the strike zone.
Yeah, he's giving him a couple of breaking balls to hit. Rosario's had good swings. Rosario's always been a free swinger. Try to get him to chase if you can.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th inning. Runner at second. Jazz takes over and goes to third, but it's swing and a miss. And Rosario strikes out to end it. So the Yankees offense just could not get it going, and they lose 2-1. And now the Yankees have won 2 and the Blue Jays 1 in this 4-game set.
Well, this game started with 2 of the best pitchers in the league, both young guys who were dominant on the mound. The Yankees ended up a couple runs down. They tried to fight back, but were not able to. Good, well-pitched game on both sides. Blue Jays come out on top.
Well, now it's time for the Mazda Player of the Game, David.
Well, it was an old-school pitcher's duel, and the guy who came out on top was Trey Savage, and he was a savage on the mound, taking care of the savages in the box. And the key with him was just that 1-2 punch, a righty fastball and a deceptive splitter.
2-8-0, beating 1-6-0. Took 2 hours and 45 minutes. Savage the win. Volin his 6th save. Schlittler his 2nd loss. Trent Grisham exited the game with left knee discomfort. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, and our executive producer is Jared Ames Boschnack. Hey, don't forget to join us again next Wednesday when the Yankees head to Kauffman Stadium to square off against the Royals. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. on Prime, with first pitch coming just after 7:30. For more coverage of tonight's game, tune into the S Network for the W.B. Mason postgame show. Once again, the final score, the Toronto Blue Jays 2 and the New York Yankees 1. For David Cohn, Paul O'Neill, and Meredith Morakovitz, I'm Michael Kay saying see ya from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York, where the Blue Jays beat the Yankees 2-1. Have a good night, everybody. So long.